Welcome to Sleep and Color Stories, your sanctuary for calm, imagination, and gentle dreams. You are about to embark on a serene journey to a quiet, magical village illuminated by the soft glow of floating lanterns. This is a space just for you, a gentle, safe space where your mind can unwind, your body can relax, and your spirit can be carried into calm and peace. If you enjoy this journey, remember to like, subscribe, or follow so you'll be the first to experience new stories and meditations. Tonight, we will follow the delicate journey of lanterns drifting on a quiet river beneath a star-filled sky. You'll feel the warm glow of candlelight, the cool caress of night air, and the gentle rippling of water beneath you. Every sound, every scent, and every light will guide you slowly, gracefully into deep relaxation. As we move through this story, I invite you to settle into comfort. You may lie down or sit somewhere safe. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. With each exhale, release any tension, stress, or lingering thoughts from your day. Allow your awareness to expand gently, following the lanterns as they float, rise, and shimmer in the night. This is your time. Your body is safe, your mind is free, your heart is open. In this luminous festival of light, you are supported, embraced, and invited to drift peacefully, letting go as the story carries you toward calm, serenity, and gentle sleep. Now, let the lanterns guide you and begin your journey. Part 1. Arrival at dusk. Evening gathers slowly around you, not all at once, not in a rush. The light softens first. The sharp edges of the day begin to blur as if the world itself is exhaling after holding its breath for too long. The sky stretches wide above you, brushed with quiet shades of amber and blue, the last warmth of sunlight dissolving into something cooler, calmer, kinder. You arrive without urgency. Your steps are unhurried, your breathing already slower than it was before. There is no clear beginning here, no doorway you pass through, only the gentle understanding that you have entered a space devoted to light. Lanterns rest unlit around you, hundreds of them. They are simple in shape, thin paper, small frames, nothing ornate, nothing demanding attention. They wait patiently in neat rows, their pale surfaces catching what remains of the evening glow. You stand among them. The air feels different here, cooler, softer, carrying the faint scent of water and distant earth. There is the quiet hum of people nearby, but no conversation that presses against you. No one asks anything of you. No one expects you to perform or respond. You are simply allowed to be here. The ground beneath your feet feels steady, solid, reliable. You notice your shoulders. They lower without instruction. You notice your jaw. It loosens without effort. The sky deepens further. Blue shifts toward indigo, indigo toward velvet. And as a darkness gathers gently at the edges of the world, small points of warm light begin to flicker on around you. One lantern glows, then another, then another. Each flame awakens quietly, as if careful not to disturb the calm. The light they cast is golden, not bright, not sharp. It does not compete with the sky. It It simply exists within it. You watch the nearest lantern glow from within. Its paper surface becomes translucent, luminous. The frame inside forms delicate shadows, thin lines of structure holding the light gently in place. There is something steady about it, something patient. The flame inside does not rush, it does not strain, it does not flare. It simply burns, small and consistent. You breathe in. Cool air fills your lungs. You breathe out, and with that exhale, a thin layer of the day slips from you. You do not have to force it. The day has already begun to loosen its hold. You notice how quiet it feels inside your chest, how the steady rhythm of your breath begins to match the slow ignition of lanterns all around you. Light, pause, light, and pause. There is no instruction here, no speech given, no ritual to memorize, only this shared stillness. You reach down and gently lift one of the unlit lanterns before you. It is lighter than you expected. The paper is smooth beneath your fingertips, fragile but not weak. Inside, the small fuel cell waits, still, untouched. You hold it carefully, aware of how little effort it takes to support something delicate. The sky above you has turned fully dark now, deep and wide and endless. Stars begin to appear faintly, like quiet witnesses. The lantern in your hands remains unlit. There is no hurry. You stand there for a moment longer, feeling the shape of it, the space it holds, the quiet it contains. You may not realize it yet, but you have brought something here with you. Not in your hands, not visible, but present. Small perhaps, persistent. A weight that followed you from earlier hours. A thought that loops. A concern that hums softly in the background. A question that has not yet formed its answer. You do not examine it closely. You do not name it. You simply notice that it exists. And as you stand beneath the deepening night, surrounded by lanterns gently blooming into light, something inside you begins to understand. You do not have to carry everything forever. The thought does not arrive loudly. It does not declare itself. It moves through you like a soft current. You shift your attention back to the lantern in your hands. Someone nearby leans forward and touches flame to their own. You watch the paper slowly fill with gold. The transformation is gradual, subtle, beautiful in its restraint. You kneel slightly and bring flame to yours. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, a small flicker, a glow. The thin paper begins to warm and lift as the air inside changes. The lantern grows luminous in your hands, not blinding, not demanding, just steady. You feel the warmth through the frame, the contained light, held safely within gentle structure. You hold it in front of you now. The glow reflects faintly in your eyes, and something inside you mirrors it. A warmth, a steadiness, a reminder that even the smallest light changes the atmosphere around it. You do not rush to release it. You simply stand there, holding it, breathing. Watching how the golden hue softens the edges of the dark. Around you, more lanterns rise slowly in the air, one by one. They lift gently, carried by the heat within them. No one throws them upward. No one forces their ascent. They rise because they are ready. because the light inside them has warmed the air enough to lift. You feel the subtle upward tug of your own lantern now, a lightness forming in your hands. It does not strain against you, it simply invites you. You breathe in once more, and in that breath, you sense again the quiet weight you carried here, still present, but softer now, less sharp, less insistent. The lantern waits. You do not need to rush this moment. You do not need to perform it correctly. You are allowed to stand here as long as you wish, feeling the warmth of a small contained light between your hands. Feeling your breath. Feeling the steady ground beneath you. Feeling the night expand wide and open above. The air is calm. The world is quiet. And without announcing it, without ceremony, something inside you begins to loosen. Your fingers relax slightly around the frame. The lantern lifts a fraction higher, not yet released, just lighter. You feel it, that gentle upward movement, the beginning of something that does not require force, only willingness. As the first wave of lanterns drifts slowly upward into the dark, their golden glow rising like a constellation in motion, you stand in the middle of it all, quiet, steady, holding light, breathing in, breathing out, and beginning, in the smallest way, to let something go. Part 2. Gathering light. More lanterns rise now, not in a rush, not in a spectacle. They lift the way breath lifts your chest, naturally, rhythmically, without announcement. You watch them ascend in slow arcs, each one carried by its own quiet warmth. Some drift close together, their golden edges nearly touching. Others wander slightly apart, moving at their own gentle pace. No two rise exactly the same way, and yet none are wrong. You remain where you are, your lantern hovering just above your hands. It trembles softly in the evening air, not from instability but from readiness. The sky above has deepened fully now, a dark blue vastness, smooth and unbroken. Stars appear more clearly, scattered and distant, watching without judgment. The lantern light feels different against the night, brighter perhaps, or simply more noticeable in contrast. You begin to notice something subtle in your chest. The weight you carried here has shifted slightly. It has not vanished. It has not been solved, but it no longer presses with the same urgency. It rests differently, as if it too has felt the slowing of the air. You take a step forward, then another. Lanterns glow at different heights around you, some just lifting from steady hands, others already floating higher, drifting toward the wide openness above. You are not alone here. There are others walking quietly, their faces softened by warm light. No one speaks loudly, no one intrudes. The silence feels shared rather than empty. It is a companionship without demand, a gathering without performance. You notice how the lantern light moves across your own hands, how it paints your skin in gold, how it softens the lines you did not know you were holding. Your breath steadies further. Inhale. Exhale. There is space now, between your thoughts. Not a void, just space. The kind of space that allows something heavy to settle without resistance. You realize you do not have to push your worries away. You do not have to argue with them. You do not have to untangle them tonight. They are allowed to exist, and they are allowed to grow lighter. Your lantern tugs again, slightly stronger this time. The warmth inside it builds gradually, invisibly, changing the air it holds. You glance upward. A cluster of lanterns has reached a higher current now. They drift slowly toward the center of the sky, gathering like a second constellation, warmer than the stars, closer than the moon. They do not rush to disappear. They linger, suspended between earth and infinity. You walk toward the water's edge. It reveals itself slowly, a dark, still surface reflecting the gold of rising light. The lanterns above shimmer faintly in the water below, doubling their glow. Sky above, sky below. You stand between them. The air here feels even cooler, calmer. The water does not ripple much. It receives the reflections gently without distortion. You hold your lantern out in front of you now. The paper glows steadily, its shape firm, its frame balanced. You notice how little effort it takes to keep holding it, how the strain you once carried in your shoulders has softened. Your jaw unclenches without instruction. The place between your eyebrows smooths. You are not solving anything. You are not fixing anything. You are simply standing with light in your hands, and somehow that is enough. A breeze moves lightly across the surface of the water, not strong enough to disrupt, just enough to remind you that everything shifts in small ways. The lanterns above you tilt slightly in response, adjusting naturally. Nothing resists, nothing collapses. They move with the air. You feel something inside you mirror that movement, a subtle adjustment, a willingness. The worry you carried earlier, that looping thought, that unfinished question, feels less rigid now. It does not grip as tightly. It floats more than it clings. You do not analyze why. You simply notice, and noticing is enough. Around you, more hands release their lanterns. There is no countdown, no signal. Each person chooses their own moment. Each release is quiet, unremarkable from the outside, profound from within. You feel the upward pull in your own lantern growing steadier. It rises higher now, barely touching your fingertips. You could let go, not dramatically, not ceremoniously, just gently. But you wait a little longer, not because you're afraid, but because you are aware of how the warmth feels in your palms, aware of how the golden light spills across the water, aware of how your breathing has slowed into a rhythm that feels natural. Inhale, the night air fills you. Exhale, something small inside you loosens again. You do not have to carry every unfinished thing into tomorrow. You do not have to solve every uncertainty before rest. You are allowed to release what is not needed in this moment. The lantern hovers fully now, almost free. Its light is steady, its shape confident. You lift your hand slightly higher, not to hold it down, but to guide it upward. Just a fraction, just enough. Your fingers relax, one by one. The frame brushes your skin lightly as it begins to rise, and there is no dramatic shift, no rush of sound, only the quiet sensation of something leaving your hands. You watch as it drifts upward slowly, its golden glow moving away from you, rising into the wide dark above. You do not chase it with your eyes. You do not strain to follow. You simply witness its ascent. It joins the others, not lost, not swallowed, but carried. And in the space your hands once occupied around it, you feel something unexpected. Lightness. Not emptiness, but lightness. As if the air inside your chest has adjusted, warmed, expanded. You lower your hands slowly to your sides. The space between your shoulders feels broader. The space behind your ribs feels open. The thought you carried here still exists somewhere in the distance, but it no longer sits in your palms. It no longer weighs on your breath. It rises now, somewhere above, part of something wider than your grasp. You stand quietly at the water's edge. Lanterns drift upward. Reflections shimmer below. The night remains vast and patient, and without effort, without instruction, you feel yourself growing softer inside that vastness. The festival continues around you, but within you, something has already begun to settle. Part 3. The open sky. The lantern you released is no longer near you. It has joined the others now, one small light among many, rising in quiet companionship toward the wide, patient dark. You do not search for it. You do not need to identify which glow was yours. What you held has already become part of something larger, and you remain here, breathing. The water beside you reflects a moving constellation. Gold trembles across its surface, lengthened and softened by gentle currents. The reflections do not hold perfectly still. They waver slightly, as if reminding you that even light adapts. You notice the space in your hands, empty but not lacking. Your palms feel cool now, open. There is a subtle difference inside your chest, not dramatic, not overwhelming, simply a widening, a quiet rearrangement. You inhale slowly. The air feels cleaner. You exhale, and the breath leaves you without resistance. Around you, more lanterns continue to rise. Some lift quickly, eager in their warmth. Others hesitate close to their keeper's hands before finally drifting upward. No lantern is forced. No release is hurried. Everything moves according to its own readiness. You step closer to the water. The shoreline curves gently, guiding your gaze outward toward the dark horizon. The sky and water seem to meet in a seamless line, indistinguishable from one another. Above, below, both vast, both accepting. You realize something quietly. The worry you carried did not disappear when you let go of the lantern. It did not evaporate, but it transformed. It changed its position inside of you. It no longer sits tightly in your grip. It no longer demands constant attention. It has space now, and in that space it feels smaller, less defined. You do not need to chase resolution tonight. You do not need to rehearse solutions. You are allowed to stand here under an open sky with nothing in your hands. The lanterns drift higher. Their light grows softer as distance increases. Not fading yet, just gentler. You tilt your head slightly upward. The stars remain steady and cool. The lanterns glow warmer, closer. Two kinds of light sharing the same sky, neither competing, both belonging. A breeze brushes across your skin. It moves through your hair, across your cheeks, down the length of your arms. It carries the faint scent of night, water, earth, distant trees. You feel how responsive your body is to this quiet, how easily it adjusts when nothing presses against it. Your shoulders remain lowered, your breath remains slow, your heartbeat steadies into a rhythm that feels almost synchronized with the rising lights. There is no performance here. No one asks you to demonstrate anything. You do not need to explain your worry. You do not need to justify its existence. It was real, and now it is lighter. That's enough. You take another breath, and you notice something else, something even softer. The mind, which earlier felt active and alert, has slowed its pace. Thoughts move through more gently now. They do not stick as firmly. They drift, like the lanterns. You allow your gaze to soften, not focusing on any one light, just absorbing the whole sky. Golden points scattered against dark blue, moving slowly upward, rising without urgency. You realize how natural this upward motion feels. Nothing strains to ascend. The warmth within each lantern carries it, steadily, without force, and something inside you mirrors that movement. A gentle rising, not physically, but internally, as if the space inside your chest has opened enough to allow what was once heavy to float more freely. You do not push it upward. You do not command it to leave. You simply give it space, and space is enough. The reflections in the water begin to thin as lanterns climb higher. Their mirrored glow stretches and elongates, becomes softer, more diffused. Eventually, some reflections fade entirely as distance grows. Above, the lights remain visible. Below, the surface grows darker again. You watch this transition without concern. You understand now. Release does not mean disappearance. It means distance. It means gentleness. It means allowing something to exist without gripping it tightly. Your hands hang loosely at your sides. Your fingers no longer curl inward. Your jaw remains soft, your brow smooth. The night feels larger than it did when you first arrived, or perhaps you feel smaller inside it in a peaceful way. Held. Contained by something vast and neutral. You notice the quiet between sounds, the subtle rhythm of breath, the faint rustle of clothing as people shift their weight nearby, the soft hum of lantern flames carried upward. Everything feels measured, balanced. You have nothing left to hold, nothing to prepare, nothing to release right now. You simply stand, and standing is enough. A few lanterns drift closer together above, forming loose clusters of light. Others scatter more widely, disappearing toward the edges of the sky. There is no wrong direction. Each light follows its own invisible current. You trust that yours has found its path. You do not need to track it. You do not need to guide it. It is already carried. You inhale again. The breath enters smoothly. You exhale, and the exhale lengthens slightly without effort. Your body understands something your mind does not need to articulate. You are allowed to loosen. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to let what weighs on you drift into distance. You remain present, grounded, feet steady against the earth, hands relaxed, eyes lifted gently upward. The sky grows darker still as the lanterns rise higher. Their glow becomes smaller, more delicate, like embers suspended far away. You feel no urgency to move, no impulse to gather anything. The festival does not demand constant participation. It offers space, and you stand within that space, breathing easily. The thought that once looped persistently now feels faint. It may return tomorrow, it may not, but tonight it does not press against you. Tonight you are simply here, under a sky that accepts every light, beside water that reflects without judgment, inside a body that knows how to relax when given permission. You tilt your head slightly downward now. The shoreline feels calmer. Fewer lanterns remain near the ground. Most have risen beyond easy reach. The air feels wider, more open, and inside that openness you sense the beginning of something even quieter, a deeper settling, a gentle descent inward, the kind that arrives when the mind has nothing left to chase. You close your eyes for a moment, only briefly. You feel the night air on your skin, the steady ground beneath your feet, the calm expansion of breath within your ribs, and when you open them again, the sky seems softer, more distant, more forgiving. The lanterns continue upward, growing smaller, growing fainter, and you stand beneath them, lighter than when you had arrived. Your body feels heavier now, not weighed down, just resting. Your eyelids close fully, or nearly. Darkness behind them feels warm, not empty. You do not need to picture the lanterns anymore. They have drifted far beyond sight. Their light no longer visible, but the softness remains inside you. Your breathing continues, slow, even, unforced. Your thoughts thin further, fewer words, more space. The air moves gently in and out. Nothing to solve, nothing to carry, nothing to hold. Only this breath, only this quiet, only this steady, open space inside you. Your awareness narrows softly from sky to breath, from breath to stillness, from stillness to rest. Your body settles completely, heavier, softer, calmer. Breathing in, breathing out. Slower now, even slower. The night holds you, the ground supports you, the air moves gently through you. There is nothing left to release, nothing left to rise, only quiet, only darkness, only rest. Your breath becomes soft, almost silent. Your thoughts drift further, further, until there are no words at all. Just calm, just warmth, just sleep.